All right, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to another episode of the Mr. Islam Answers Back live show, live stream. As promised, I said we would be here either yesterday or today to do another show, and here we are today, as promised. As we always do, before we go ahead and actually get into this topic, let's go ahead and give people a few moments to join into the room, the discussion. Let me go ahead and start sending out a few tweets so we can get this thing on the road. All right. Let me go ahead and send out some tweets real quick so we can get this thing started. All right. So give me a moment with that, and we'll get started. In the meantime, join on in, and let's give it a few moments to get started. All right. So bear with us, bear with us, bear with us, all right? Just bear with us a moment. While we get this thing going. All right, I'm gonna share it. Get started from there, all right? Let's see here. I usually share it the other way. Let's see here. All right. So as always, like I said, if you're just joining in, just be patient with us as we, we get this thing going. We're just trying to get some people in here, and we'll get started. So if you watch this at a later time after the live stream, just hold tight, and we're getting started in a few moments. In a few moments, we're going to get this thing started. All right. Just want to send out some tweets and let everybody know that we're live, so we can. Okay, that looks good. Very good. Okay. All right, cool. So it looks good. It's good on the on Twitter. The way I like it. Yeah, very good, very good. You know what? I'm gonna tag Ilhan in this herself. Let me see. I'm gonna tag her in this thing, man, so we can, so maybe she can watch. Maybe she can join in. Who knows, right? You never know. So I'm gonna go ahead and tag her in this. Let me see, how can I tag? What's her thing? Her thing is let's get her tag. Representative Ilhan. It is at Ilhan MN. Okay, I'm gonna tag her in this joint. I tagged her in this thing, so let's see. Maybe you never know. Maybe she'll join in and listen in on the show, right? All right. Okay, let's see. Just a moment, everybody. Just give me a few moments. All right, cool. Oh, wait a minute. She has two. That's her regular one, and then she has one as a representative, Ilhan. You know, you can tag that one too. That one is at Ilhan. They both have the check next to it. Representative. All right, well, you know what? Let me tag that one too, guys. Hold on. Give me a moment. She has two Twitters, actually. She has two. She has her regular one, and then she has the one as a representative. So let me tag her in that one too. Why not, right? Why not tag her in both? Alright, so the other one is other one is at Ilhan. That's the other one. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, that one is her representative. That one is at Ilhan. Just at Ilhan. Okay. Alright, cool. That one is just at Ilhan. Alright. Okay. I think we got that set. Okay. Alright. Alright, wa alaikum salam. Man, this guy, would you, hey, look. You know what? This dude, I'm gonna have to throw you out of here, bro. I told you not to be advertising your Christian stuff on my channel. Get that out of here. Okay? Get that out of here. Delete it. Alright? We got Hamza in the house. We got Omar Mujahid in the house. Alright, so good. Yeah, we're getting it cracking. We got 3 people right now, but let's get it going. Let's get it going. One more thing. You know what? One more thing. There was this other video that I saw. This other article that I want to get you guys on to see, because man, it's interesting, man. You know, did you know they found some Somali sellouts to speak against Ilhan from her community? Did you know that, man? You know, they always can find people, man. That's a shame. So I want to get the video of these people that they found. Let me see, where's it at? They actually was able to find some members of her community to say that, yeah, they think what she said was anti-Semitic. I'm like, man, come on, shut up, man. She didn't say nothing, you know what I mean? But that's how it goes, you know what I mean? They always can find somebody to, you know, they always find somebody, man. It's a shame. Let's see, where was that video that I was watching where they found, let's see. Where they supposedly got people from her own community. I was like, man, come on, that's like how you know what I mean? Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Omar faces backlash from Muslim and Jewish constituents. Man, I was like, wow, they actually found some Somali guys to speak against her, yo. They really did. They really found some people. It's sad. And I'm gonna share that with you too. But you know, I told you, man, that didn't I say that yesterday? They can always find some sellouts, you know, and that's what keeps them on top, because there's always people willing. It's too bad that they can always find willing participants to go against, you know, to go against those who speak out from, you know, from the person who's speaking out's group. And that's what keeps them always on the top, man. Alright, so, alright, let's see. Let me tweet it one more time, and I'm going to go ahead and get started, okay? We'll go ahead and get started with this. Alright, so we tweeted out that the show is live, and we we tagged Sister Representative Ilhan in the tweet. So who you know, you never know. She might watch it now, she might watch it at a later date. But in any case, let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Okay, let's get this thing rolling. Wa alaikum salam to those who joined in. Yeah, we can show that. All right, wa alaikum salam to welcome brother Muhammad Zakaria. We got, I said already, so I'm alaikum to Isa Hamza and Omar Mujahid. All right. So like I said, let's get this thing started. Let's get this thing going. Okay. So as you see, as I mentioned yesterday, we were going to do another show to talk about this. Basically, you can kind of look at this as a part 2 to the show we did a few weeks ago, where we were in support of Sister Ilhan Omar, you know, and how we were talking about how she was condemned for speaking the truth, right? So we talked about that. So on this show, we're going to go into more details of what she said and how what she said, whether it was right or was she wrong, right? Was she wrong about her statements about her accusations about the Israel lobby, or was she correct? So that's what we're going to get into. Okay, that's what we're gonna get into. Was she wrong about the Israel lobby? And the answer to that, I'm gonna say it right up, straight up. No, she wasn't wrong. There's a lot of evidence in support of what she said, right? But as we spoke yesterday, a little bit yesterday, there is an agenda. There's organizations out there. There's a movement out there to keep this stuff quiet, to try to shut it down, right? To try to shut it down because they don't want the truth to come out. And man, when you see what I got exposed to you today, oh, you're gonna see how powerful they are, bro and sisters. They're no joke. Very powerful. And when I was watching all these different things, it was almost to the point of paranoia. Like I'm like, wow, they're really that paranoid? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're really that paranoid that they like the stuff that they do that I'm gonna show you is that they act like like people, even myself. Who knows? Even myself. If I get too much shine and my voice starts getting too big, I could be a target. That's how deep this stuff goes, bro and sisters. They act the way they act against people who speak out. You would think they were acting like they were acting against another military power. Like they actually use like CIA tactics, bro and sisters. They actually use CIA, FBI style tactics against regular activists who speak out against Israel. Like they really going deep. They act, you know what I mean? Like they're acting like like these people are, another country where they actually put spies on you, man. They got spies. They have people spying on you, tapping your whatever, they got internet software that they said that it picks up anything. Like you say something about Israel, they have this technology that picks it up and immediately sends it to a database where they analyze it and they can determine how much of a threat you are. I'm like, damn, really? Like they really like that's how deep they are, man. That's how paranoid. I mean, like, I could understand, okay, you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for threats and stuff like that. But like this, to regular people, they spy on regular American citizens. Like I said, who knows? People like myself, I could be being spied on right now. Watched. Internet being tapped. Hacked. Like, I mean, that's how, I'm for real. Wait till I show you. That's how deep it goes. That's how deep this goes, yo. That, walaikum salam, macho man, welcome. Right? That's how deep this goes. That that's how willing they are to shut down any criticisms of Israel, man. And wait till I show you. They're working, like I told you yesterday, they're working on recruiting black people. They got a rising star in the works. I'm gonna show you her too. So they trying to get black people to go to support Israel, even though most black people see that Israel is racist, right? But there's always some coons, some Sambos, some sellouts that's willing to go along with it, right? So we're gonna get into all that today, and when you see, if you don't already know, you're gonna be shocked to see how deep they go to try to shut up voices that criticize and speak out against Israel, man. It's like, wow. I was like, wow, this is some real paranoia, the stuff that they do, man. This is some real deep paranoia, how deep they really take this, this stuff. All right. Okay, so let's see, what's the first thing? Well, the first thing, let's get into that. She said that, right, she got criticized when she talked about the Israel lobby, and she said it was all about the Benjamins. That's a slang for meaning it's all about the money. Was she let's see, was she wrong about that? You know what I'm saying? Was she wrong about that? Well, the evidence says no. All right, the evidence says no, she wasn't wrong about that. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at it. All right. So as you can see here, this is a website called opensecrets.org, but don't let the name fool you, because they do have their sources, right? They have their, they have the sources to where they get this information from. All right. So this is not, some conspiracy website or whatever the case may be. They have the sources to, where this information is get from, as it says here, right? As you see on the screen, it says that the information is released from the Federal Election Commission. So, they give you their source where they're getting this from. This is not, made up. This is not some conspiracy theory. the actual facts with the sources to back it up. So let's take a look at this. And this was also to my surprise when you see this. So as you can see here, this is the pro-Israel money to Congress. Now what they say is this. What they say is that AIPAC is not allowed to give money directly to a politician, right? They're not allowed to do it directly. So what they do is they get a donor, a wealthy donor, to make the donations on their behalf to these politicians, to, you know, to be pro-Israel. You see, so that's how they do it. That's how they get around that loophole. They say, okay, well, we're, as an organization, you can't give them money directly. So they will go through donors, you know, and they'll give the money to the politicians like that. So as you can see on the screen, right, as you see on the screen, here are the numbers. Here are the numbers that they contribute on average. All right, this was the most recent numbers from it said from February 1st of this year. Okay, from 21st of this year. All right. As the website says, let me see, it says feel free to distribute, give credit. So we're going to give credit to the Center for Responsive Politics. All right, this is the credit for this is due to the Center for Responsive Politics. All right, so here you see here, let's see. So, and this was my surprise that the Democrats get a little bit more money, although on average they don't, but overall they do. Right. So for the Democrats, you see here, it shows that. Well, let's stay at the top, right? So for Democrats, they got 9 million, party split, $9,370,218. The Republicans surprisingly got less money. I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised that, you know, because usually the Republicans seem to be more on Israel's side. They're always the ones who are anti-Islamic, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? More, they seem to be pro-Zionist. But this goes to show us that both parties, you can't really, you know, both parties are on the take. And clearly more so the Democrats than the Republicans, right? So as you see here on the screen, when you go down the list, all candidates, a total, were given $14,877,042. All that's all the candidates combined, right? It shows here that, you know, for the United States, our government has, you know, it's three parts: the executive branch, the judicial, and the congressional branch, right? So as you see here, it's broken up into the House and the Senate. So as you see, for the Democrats, 150 out of let's see, there's 435 members. So with Democrats, they have 150 members. The average contribution was $21,000, right? $21,283. That was the average contribution to the 150 Democrats that they have taken the money. Which gave us a total of $3,192,561. Republicans, they had 119 of them who got the money, with an average contribution of $25,364. Right? They have a total of $3,018,346. Independents didn't get any money, as you see here. So these are the average amounts of money that they contribute to these numbers of Democrats and Republicans. When we go down to the Senate, the other part of the American government, which is called the Senate, here they have 37 members, right? And he says here the U.S. Senate has 100 members, all right? So out of 100 members, 37 Democrats received from the average contribution $86,293, for a total of $3,192,860. Republicans, 19 members, receive an average contribution $60,511, for a total of $1,149,710. Independents here, they have two independents who are on the take for $65,000 on average, $65,305 average, for $130,610. Okay, so so these people are on the take, and Sister Ilhan was correct. It is about the money, because of course, I mean, think about it, man. Think about it, right? Why would you give the money, right? If you wasn't going to get nothing for it, why would you give it, right? We all know the game. We all know how this works, right? Everybody knows how this works. You give the money because, you know, obviously it's going to get you what you want. And when the people take the money, everybody, it's understood, right? It's not like you just give the money to support, right? You give the money because you want these people to do, you know, do your work for you. You know, give you some benefits. Or if you didn't think you could get it, you wouldn't give the money, right? And if you weren't willing to do the bidding, you wouldn't take the money, right? If you weren't willing to do what they're asking you, you wouldn't take the money, right? Because as you're going to see on what I'm going to show you further, it's not a thing where you're just asking for somebody to support you. Where you say, hey, look, guys, like me, right? I'm saying, hey, guys, this is what I'm trying to do. I need your support. But I'm letting you know what I want to do, right? I'm saying, look, this is what I'm doing. Back me up. Support me by backing me up. Whereas what they do is they go to you. They go to you and say, hey, look, I want you to do this. Here's the money. You see the difference? Right? Everybody understand the difference, right? There's a difference between saying, hey, look, this is what I'm trying to do. Support me in what I'm trying to do. Right? That's different. That means I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I'm just asking you to back me up. If you like what I'm doing, back me up. Right? It's different if somebody has the money and they say, hey, look, I got money, and I'm giving you the money, and I want you to do what I want you to do. And if you say, well, nah, I'm not interested in that, you say, cool, you don't take the money. If you say, okay, well, what you want me to do? I'll take it. That means I'm on the hook, right? That means I'm taking the money from you to do what you want me to do. Everybody get that? Speaking of that, let me take a moment to remind everybody. Let me take a moment to remind everybody that we're still looking for your support on our Patreon page. Right? Here's our Patreon right now. As you can see, we have 3 people. Alhamdulillah, from the last time we only had 1. Now we got 3. As I said, my goal is to get 5. I'm trying to reach 5 patrons. All we need is 2 more. All right? So we need 2 more people to sign up as a patron, and we can reach our goal of 5. Once we get the 5, then we'll try to get 10 and 15, 20, 50, 100, so forth and so on. Right now, my goal is to get 5 supporters on my Patreon page. Right now, as you see on the screen, we only have 3. I'm asking for 2 more people, right? 2 more people to join up so we can get a total of 5. That's my goal. My goal is right now is just to get 5 patrons to support, inshallah. All right? Just to get 5. Back to the subject. Okay, by the way, you could also support us through the other links in the description of this video, right? Through our website. You can make a donation to PayPal. Our book is available. You can support us through getting our book. All right. On Amazon, you can buy our DVD, which we call Taqiyya, and we expose how the haters against Islam have made up a lie about what Taqiyya is, right? Totally distorting and twisting what Taqiyya is. So those are the means of ways that you can support us, inshallah. All right. So back to what we were talking about. All right. So back to what like I said. So as you see, the sister Ilhan was correct. There's a lot of money that does go into giving politicians, you know, money to support to be pro-Israel, right? And I agree with her in that this to me it shouldn't be allowed, right? To me, this really shouldn't be allowed, because like she said that, you know, she found it interesting that, you know, people are talking about this allegiance, you know, allegiance to Israel. You know what I mean? Right? She was talking about how people are being what's the name? You know, showing they're giving allegiance to Israel. You know what I mean? And I agree with her. I'm like, yo, you know, you're supposed to be American politicians. You're supposed to be working for the American people. What are you talking about allegiance to Israel for? You know, like what does that got to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? That's not our country. That's not your country. What's this alliance stuff for? And I understand a country can have allies and friends. Yeah, no problem. You know, I don't have any problem with that. But when we have our politicians, our elected officials, our lawmakers and stuff like that talking about, you know, standing with Israel and all that. So I'm like, well, hold up, you know, like, and some of them really go, they really like go to the point where you're like, well, wait a minute, you know, are you an Israeli politician or are you an American politician? You know what I'm saying? Like, like, what's going on here? You sound like you're a little too much, talking too much for, you know, for another country instead of your own country. So that's what she was talking about. And, you know, from the evidence here, she was definitely right on point. You know what I'm saying? She was right on point about it. And, you know, like I said, brothers and sisters, you'll be surprised that there's a lot of information out there. But you know why? We already know why we don't hear a lot about it, because there is an effort out there to shut this information down, right? They can't completely shut it out because, of course, that would go against America's principles of freedom of speech and all of that. But they definitely work a campaign, you know, and work a good agenda to keep this stuff as kept out, you know, of spreading as much as it can, as best they can. So here we see here, let's go take a look at this here. There's a book, there's books about it. So you wonder, like, why are they criticizing her? There's books that talk about this, that document, you know, that document the influence of the Israel lobby on American politics. So here's this book here by John Mearsheimer and Stephen Walt, called The Israel Lobby and U.S. Foreign Policy. Let's read a little bit right here. It says, The Israel Lobby by John Mearsheimer of the University of Chicago and Stephen Walt of Harvard's John F. Kennedy School of Government was one of the most controversial articles in recent memory. Originally published in the London Review of Books in March 2006, it provoked both howls of outrage and cheers of gratitude for challenging what had been a taboo issue in America, which is the impact of the Israel lobby on U.S. foreign policy. So this is nothing new. Sister Ilhan didn't do, you know, this has been talked about for a long time, right? This book came out, they said, in 2008, but it originally was published as an article in the London Review back in 2006, right? It says, now a work of major importance, Mearsheimer and Walt deepen and expand their argument and confront recent developments in Lebanon and Iran. They describe the remarkable level of material and diplomatic support that the United States provides to Israel, and argues that this support cannot be fully explained on either strategic or moral grounds. This exceptional relationship is largely due to the political influence of a loose coalition of individuals and organizations that actively work to shape U.S. foreign policy in a pro-Israel direction. Mearsheimer and Walt provocatively contend that the lobby has a far-reaching impact on America's posture throughout the Middle East, in Iraq, Iran, Lebanon, and toward the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And the policies it has encouraged are in neither America's national interest nor Israel's long-term interest. The lobby's influence also affects America's relationship with important allies and increases dangers that all states face from global jihadist terror. Writing in the New York Review of Books, Michael Massing declared, "Not since Foreign Affairs magazine published Samuel Huntington's The Class of Civilizations in 1993 has an academic essay detonated with such force the publication of the Israel lobby and U.S. foreign policy is certain to widen the debate and to be one of the most talked about books in foreign policy." So, you know, this is what she said is nothing new. This information is out there, right? This information is out there. But again, they're trying to keep it down. And you're going to see that too. I'm going to show you the evidence that they work to shut this kind of stuff down. Publications, people, speakers, organizations, whatever. They work hard to try to shut this information down. They don't want this information to get out. Okay? So I'm like, man, they really working hard to really, you know, keep this on the low. Keep you shut up, to shut you up, to quiet you down. You know what I'm saying? It's quite alarming, actually, the levels that they go. You know what I mean? It's quite alarming, the steps that they will take to try to shut up any criticism of Israel. Which is sad, because we can all see what Israel's doing, right? We all see how they mistreat the Palestinians. We all see the human rights violations, but they don't want you to say nothing about it. It's like they want to be untouchable. It's like they want to be untouchable. It's like they want it where, you know, they're above criticism. Like, who the hell do they think they are? You know what I mean? Like, that's what when I saw this, like, who the hell do they think they are? They really think that they are above reproach. But like I said, you're going to see, as this show goes on, you're going to see what I'm talking about here. They really think that they're untouchable, man. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's really amazing. They really think that they're above, you know, like, you know, you can't say nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? It's quite alarming, actually. Like I said, it's really quite alarming. Okay. Let's see here. So yeah, now let me start with that. Let me show you this thing here of the sellout Somalis that they were able to find from her community that was talking about, yeah, you know, she what she said was anti-Semitic, and I'm like, what in the hell? Who are these coons that they found to sell the sister out like that, right? Who are these people that they found to sell her out like that, man? It's like, wow, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Let me do a quick check on the room real quick, make sure everybody's good, right? Make sure the stream is running good, right? Okay, good. More people have joined in. Yeah, well, you know, that's the thing about it, man. Jenna Seeker. Yeah, right there. That's my email. You can email me. Right? You can email that right there. You can email me. Or you could what's the name? You can email me, or you could contact me through Twitter, right? Go to my Twitter. You can contact me through my Twitter, or right there, that email, Mr. Islam Answers Back, right? Or you can well, you know what? Don't use that one. Let me give you my email. That's better to contact. If you want the quicker contact, either, like I said, through Twitter, or use this email right here. I'm actually more active using this email. Don't use the Mr. Islam Answers Back one. Use this one. Contact me through this email right here. All right. See that one right there? Contact me through that one right there. It's quicker to get me through there. Do you see it? Yeah, right there, bro underscore Shadid at hotmail.com. That's the best way. That's the quickest way to get me. Or like I said, or Twitter. Just go to my Twitter, which is also Bro Shadid, or look up Mr. Islam Answers Back. Those are the quickest ways to contact me. All right. So like I said, let me go ahead and show you this video of where they found these two Somali guys, and one of them said they worked for her. I was like, what? He campaigned for her. Now they got him, you know, selling her out, man, throwing her under the bus. I'm like, bro, come on, man. You know what I mean? But here, let's take a listen to this. You listening? By the way, let me just say this, CNN, I'm using this as what they call fair use, right? I'm using this under the fair use law, which allows you to use information or videos or whatever from another publication, as long as it's for educational purposes, to criticize it, to speak about it, to talk about it, or whatever. So I'm using this under the fair use law. Okay, here we go.
It's the rooms
They got to show the commercial right
to go anniversary sale, and we're saving you big on rooms like this for $14.99 or just $25 a month, interest free until March 2024. Buy whatever.
Has a little bit of lag here, I see.
You want, and go home with low interest-free monthly payments. Get beautiful rooms like this for $25 per month. Living rooms, bedrooms.
All right, you know what?
Find your perfect room for
just
$14.99 or just $25 a month, interest-free.
Get past this commercial, then I'll show you.
The Rooms to Go anniversary sale going on now.
Okay, it's about to start. Finally. All right, here we go. Yeah,
David
check
Duke
it out. Check it out.
of the Ku Klux Klan agrees with you, you're not doing something right.
Mohammed Ahmed voted for Minnesota House Representative Ilhan Omar. Omar Jamal campaigned for her. Like Representative Omar, they are Somali refugees who became American citizens in her Minnesota district. Seeing her, the first Somali American voted into the House of Representatives, was the epitome of the American dream realized.
Okay, am I back on? Can you guys, am I back on? Can you guys hear me? Yo, that's really weird, man. That's really weird. I never had that happen. Alright, can you guys hear me? Yo, that was really weird, yo. I'm telling you that now, look, I'm not too much of a conspiracy theorist, but that has never happened. All of a sudden, I got disconnected from the internet. So all of us, yo, that has never happened to me on any of the shows that I've done. You guys have been, I have never had that happen. I've had bad logs before. I've had it where, you know, where it may slow down or whatever. But I got completely disconnected from the internet. I even checked in the house. The internet was still working. So somehow I got disconnected. Somehow my computer, my laptop got disconnected. I have never had that happen. And I'm telling you, when I show you the other stuff I'm going, when I show you the other stuff I'm going to show you, like I said, the stuff that I have shows that they have technologies like that. They have all kind of deep technologies that's searching on the internet for all kind of stuff. So it's very strange. I'm gonna say that I feel that it's very strange. I don't think it's a coincidence that all of a sudden my stream gets completely shut down. That's very strange. I never had that happen on all the shows that I've done. I never had that. I've had it, like I said, I've had it, you know, be slow because of the buffering or whatever, but to get completely disconnected from the internet, I don't even know how that happened. And the rest of the internet is working. The internet I even checked it. I thought maybe the internet went out. I looked, it was still going. Somehow my laptop my stream got completely it wasn't just YouTube. It wasn't YouTube. It was the complete Wi-Fi connection cut me off. All right? So if anybody is out there and you're doing that, that shows you how sorry you are, right? That shows you how afraid they are of the truth, right? Because if you had the truth, if you were on the right side, you wouldn't worry. You'd be like, let him speak, right? You'd be like, let him talk. He can't hurt us. But when they try to shut you down like this, especially to go this far, this lets you see. This lets you see how low and underhanded these people are. I'm telling you, man, I've never had that happen. To me, that's very weird. That's very weird. Very weird. But let's continue, right? We're going to continue. So you guys can hear me. Okay, the comely man says, yes, he can hear me. Okay, I'm glad you guys can still hear me. Cool. So let's continue. Let's continue. By the way, you know what? Just because they did that, let me tweet it again. Let me send out a tweet again. Get more people to join. All right? Yo, that was crazy. That was really weird. That was really weird. So we're going to tweet it again. We're going to keep tweeting it. And I want you guys to do the same thing. Tweet it. Share it. Let's put it out there. All right. So where were we? I was showing you the sellout people from her community that they were able to get from her community to say that, yeah, you know, she said she's doing something wrong. She said something wrong. Right? Let's see if we can, what happened? Something I want to play back. Yeah. So let me see if we can get this thing up again. Like I said, that was just too weird, man. That was just too weird. Too weird. Very weird. Very weird. Like I said, I could see if the YouTube buffers or something like that, but to get completely
step into a world of savings.
To get completely disconnected, that was just too weird for me. You know what I mean? That was just too weird. But no worries, no worries. We got it. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. Wa alaikum salam, Delmas Braswell. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to get this. so I can show you the rest of this footage of these people that they found from her community. These two men who they found from her community. Oh my God, these commercials. Just hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Man, this is a long commercial. Come on. All right, here we go again. Let's try it again.
Agrees with you, you're not doing something right.
Mohammed Ahmed voted for Minnesota House Representative Ilhan Omar. Omar Jamal campaigned for her. Like Representative Omar, they are Somali refugees who became American citizens in her Minnesota district. First Somali American voted into the House of Representatives was the epitome of the American dream realized.
It was beyond imagination. History has been made.
But then came her stream of comments. February 10th, when responding to a tweet about being chastised by politicians for comments about Israel, she tweeted, "It's all about the Benjamins, baby," inferring the criticism was because politicians are being influenced by American supporters of Israel. She later deleted the tweet. On February 27th, she said something and later tweeted something which many took as questioning whether Jewish Americans' loyalty was to America or Israel.
I want to talk about the political influence in this country that says it is okay for people to push for allegiance to a foreign country.
What do you make of her
Now, wait a minute.
comments?
See,
Do
now,
you
and
see
that- I
them
didn't hear
as
her say
divisive?
Jewish Americans, anything. I just heard her saying people, pushing for influence from another country. Now, I would have to see the full context, the full footage to see did she actually say Jewish Americans. But it didn't. I didn't hear, at least in that part, I didn't hear her say anything about Jewish Americans. All I heard her say was that she was criticizing this fact that people can influence for a foreign country. All right, so I didn't hear her say nothing about Jewish America. Like I said, unless she said it in the fuller footage, but at least in that part, I didn't hear her say anything about that. But here, keep listening to these guys.
Do you see them as anti-Semitic?
I think, yes, I see them as anti-Semitic.
So this is anti-Semitic. There's no doubt about it.
How, bro?
You can equate it for us Muslims with the Sharia law issue.
Ahmed says Muslim Americans.
No, it's not the same, man. It's not the same. It's not the same because see, when these people make this nonsense that they talk about Sharia law trying to take over or whatever, there's no evidence for that. You see what I'm saying? There's no evidence for that. There's no evidence that Muslims are trying to take over and implement Sharia law in America. So when people make that claim that, oh, the Muslims are trying to take over and spread Sharia law, there's no evidence to back that up. So it's not the same, bro. It's not the same. When she was talking about the Israel lobby, there's evidence for that. I just showed you the proof of how much money they contribute, right? I showed you the money. Are there any Muslims contributing money to politicians to try to get them to implement Sharia law? No, right? No, you won't be able to show any evidence of any Muslims giving a bunch of money to politicians to try to get laws passed to implement Sharia law and for Muslims to take over America. So no, it's not the same, brother. It's not the same. What she said is true. The Israel lobby definitely is giving money to try to, to buy off politicians so they can support Israel. There's evidence for that. There's truth behind that. When they talk this Sharia stuff, it's not the same. So no, that brother is wrong. And you see how they threw her under the bus. They threw her under the bus talking about it's anti-Semitic. No, it's not. No, it's not. How is that anti-Semitic? She wasn't talking about Judaism. And as I told you guys yesterday, remember, don't fall for that trick. Anti-Semitic does not mean anti-Jewish. Do not fall for that trick. As I told you, all you got to do is look up the word Semitic, then look up the word anti, right? Anti means to be against something, like anti-ballistic missiles, anti-aircraft missiles, right? It's against the thing that you're speaking of, the subject. So Semitic, if you look up the word Semitic, you will see the definition. It does not mean Jewish. It does not mean Jewish at all. So when they say anti-Semitic, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just repeating what they're hearing here in America. But it is she didn't say anything anti-Semitic. She didn't say nothing against the Jewish people. She didn't say nothing against the Jewish religion, Judaism, nothing. So how it's not anti-Semitic at all. It's not anti-Semitic at all. You know, exactly, Muhammad Zachariah, exactly, right? We even have we have even one of their Israeli spies. What's his name? Jonathan Pollard, who was in jail. He got caught spying. They put him in jail. I believe he's still in jail. They tried to get Obama to release him, but Obama didn't let him go. He's still in jail right now, right? Spying on America. But yeah, you're right. But we're supposed to be allies, right? You're supposed to be allies, but you're spying on your ally. What, you don't trust us, right? You don't trust us? To me, that sounds like they don't trust America, right? Why would you spy on your ally unless you didn't trust him, right? But all these politicians keep kissing Israel's ass. Even though we have all these things like this, they keep kissing Israel's ass, right? So, and that's why they're scared of people like Sister Ilhan and others, because if we get more Ilhans in Congress and they can't be bought off, then we already know that the foreign policy is going to change. And one day I believe it's going to happen. One day it's going to happen, right? One day it's going to happen. I believe that one day we'll get enough people in there who won't be ass kissers to Israel, who won't take the sellout, who won't take the money. Matter of fact, they should make a law to change that. They should make a law to change that. That if you give money, it has to be given anonymously. If you want to support a candidate, the money has to be anonymously given. You can't influence. You can't tell them, hey, I'm giving you this to do. No. If whatever their agenda is, that's their agenda. If you want to support, you support. But you can't give the money. You know, it shouldn't be allowed to be given with demands behind it, other than the person's own agenda. If the person says, hey, look, I'm running for president and I want to do this, this, and this, these are my plans, and you support it, you give the money. But giving money to say, hey, look, we need you to do this or do that, no, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the same thing too with the corporations, like big pharmacy corporations. I saw a documentary about that. So it's not just with the Israel lobby. I mean, that's part of it, but there are also big businesses that give money. And then you find out that they pass laws. Like there's laws on the books that you can't sue. Like if you get sick from certain medications, these politicians sold the people out. There's laws that you can't sue. So if they have a medicine, if they pass the law to allow a certain medicine on the market, there's laws that politicians allow that says you can't sue the company. I'm like, what the hell? But that's how they sell us out. These people can just change the rules as they please. See? They can change the rules and make the rules up as they please. So now I can't sue you. I take the medicine, I get sick or whatever. I can't sue you because they done pass laws to protect the companies. So that's why really all this lobby stuff should not be allowed at all. Right? All this lobby stuff is just showing you that the vote is for sale. The vote is for sale. You can buy out politicians to lobby for a country. You can buy out for your corporation or your business. That ain't right. That ain't right. There's documentaries about that too that expose that. But let's continue on with this here. Let's continue on with this here. Right? Let's continue on with this here. So, as we just saw the two, men from her community selling her out, throwing her under the bus, shamefully. Sad. So the next thing was this, to show you how deep this goes. I've been telling you how deep this goes, right? And I told you about this documentary that exposes all of this. It's called The Lobby, right? I told you about it, called The Lobby USA. Let's take a look at this. A little portion of the documentary. Again, I'm using this under the Fair Right Use Act, I believe it's called. Right? I'm using this footage under the Fair Use Act, which again allows you to use some video footage or audio or whatever if it's used for educational purposes, to criticize, to talk about, or to educate people on certain aspects or whatever. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm sharing this on for that. All right. So as you can see, this is on YouTube, by the way, guys. So if you ever when you get a time, take the time and watch this documentary. It's really good. It's in several parts, but it exposes the Israel lobby in not only in America, but for the brothers and sisters in the UK. A lot of your politicians are on the take as well. They have undercover footage where they got, matter of fact, those of you probably heard about it. The Israeli ambassador had to, for the UK, he had to resign because he got caught on undercover video footage talking about how they were going to take down certain certain of your politicians over there who were outspoken against Israel. Did some of you guys over there, did you see that in the news? Where he had to resign because he got exposed saying that we're going to take down this parliament member or this person, or we're going to shut them down. You know what I mean? Those were his words, right? He used the word shut down or take. No, take. He said take down. We're going to take down this person. So that's how they're playing with this. That they'll like I told you, they will end your career. They will end your career if they can. So the ambassador to the UK from Israel had to resign because he was caught on undercover video footage talking about taking down one of the parliament members, I believe it was. So, you know, this is how deep it goes. This is not a game, man. This is not a game that these people are playing, right? So let's go ahead and take a listen to this in particular in regards to the United States, since this is dealing with Sister Ilhan. So let's go ahead and show you there. All right, here we go.
In a new edition of The Lobby, we investigate the role of pro-Israel advocacy groups in this country in the first of a 4-part series. How the lobby is being drawn into Israel's covert campaign to spy on American citizens.
This is a good documentary, guys. When you get a chance, you should watch it.
Using an undercover reporter, Al Jazeera's investigative unit infiltrates one of the most powerful lobbies in the world.
Getting $38 billion in security aid to Israel matters, which is what AIPAC just did.
We examine how the lobby, led by AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, has secured unwavering support in Congress.
Congressmen don't do anything unless you pressure them. And the only way to do that is with money.
Oh, you see that? You heard that, right?
What the lobby is all...
You heard that, right? Told you straight up. The only way to get them to do stuff is what? Money. So why they getting on Sister Ilhan for telling the truth? Why are they trying to attack her for telling the truth? Why? Oh, because she's exposing what's really going on, right? They want the secret kept quiet. She's telling the truth. She's exposing what a lot of them are doing, right? She's exposing what a lot of them are doing. They're taking the money to sell out our country, to sell out the United States, to sell out the UK in support of whatever Israel does in their human rights violations, in their white racist, white Israeli supremacy over there. You see? Let's take a listen to some more.
About is to make sure that Israel gets special treatment from the United States forever.
But after occupying Palestinian lands for half a century, the pro-Israel lobby is facing a new challenge.
We called for a full boycott of Israel, divesting from it, and eventually imposing sanctions on it to achieve UN-stipulated rights of the Palestinian people.
A movement to boycott, divest, and impose sanctions on Israel, BDS, was formed on American campuses.
Seems to be achieving its goals, threatens future Americans. Israel.
We believe in justice for all people. So that means the occupation has to end.
Israel's Ministry of Strategic Affairs responded with a covert operation to defeat BDS.
Listen to this part.
אתה צריך לעשות את זה עם הרבה מאוד עמימות. זה לא גוף צבאי היררכי שאם הרגנו את X, אז כל הגוף מתחתיו לא פועל.
So the Israeli government leverages Jewish organizations in the diaspora.
Absolutely.
It's a psychological campaign.
Let me stop it right there. Y'all see that, right? That footage like that's undercover footage. So this is not no made up stuff, right? This ain't somebody just talking conspiracy. They have the proof, right? They sent journalists undercover to speak with these people, and they got the undercover footage of these people talking and saying all this stuff. So this is the real deal here, right? The Sister Ilhan was telling the truth. She's exposing the truth, and that's why we gotta support her. We need more people to get in power, to get in positions like this, so we can change the tide. But as you can see, they're working hard to make sure that they don't get in power, right? And if you do, they'll try to destroy you, as you see here. Keep listening here. This is where they're going to talk about the technologies that they have and how deep it really goes, how serious they are about making sure they destroy you if you try to speak out against Israel. Take a listen.
Involving spying and smears.
You discredit the messenger as a way of discrediting the message.
Just stay on message. And what is that message? BDS is a hate movement.
Yeah, you see that? Listen to that. So, if you ever hear in the future, right, if inshallah Allah allows me to expand this platform, and you hear them talking about me, you already know the deal, right? You know I have a record. I've been talking for years. I've always spoken against terrorism and racism and all that. So in the future, if your brother, Mr. Islam Answers Back, starts to reach a wider audience, and I'm in the media or something, and you hear them saying, oh, Mr. Islam Answers Back is a hate preacher, you know the truth, right? You'll remember the truth. You remember what I told you back in 2019, right? Remember, if they try to smear me, destroy my name, remember, this is their tactic, right? Remember the game. Ignore it, and you keep on staying on the truth. We like they just said that they stick to their message. You make sure we stick to our message, which is exposing the racists and the bigots and the anti-Islamists, right? You make sure we stay on our message. Don't let them trick you with that garbage. Because again, I have a record. You can go back to my videos when I first started. I've always spoken against racism and human rights violations and all these different things. I've always spoken against, you know, Muslims doing terrorist acts and all that stuff like that. My message has not changed. I've always spoken against these things. So never fall for any smear campaigns that they try to bring up, try to destroy somebody. All right, let's continue.
While our reporter monitored pro-Israel groups, he was asked to go undercover for the lobby.
You're going into enemy territory, not for everybody.
We are a different government working on foreign soil, and we have to be very, very cautious. We have 3 different sub-campaigns which are very, very sensitive regarding data gathering, information analysis, working on activist organization, money trail. This is something that only a country with its resources can do the best. If we want to win, we have to change our ways. We have to think differently. And this is waging a holistic campaign against the other side. Take him out of his comfort zone. Make him be on the defensive.
Israel is involved in a secretive influence campaign whose aim is to discredit its challengers in the West.
In the Air Force, when you want to win, you have to have aerial superiority. If you want to win a campaign, you must have information superiority. And this is exactly the added value Israel capabilities, technological and otherwise, we can bring to the game, and we are working on that very hard.
All right, let me stop right there. Now, you heard that, right? You see that? That's the part I'm talking about, the technology. Data gathering. They will gather information on you as a person, your group, who's involved. They even said they find out where everybody lives, man. They find out where you live. They find all this stuff, bro. Sis, brothers and sisters, they find all this stuff. They said they find out. And again, like I said, this is stuff you do when you spying on your enemy country, right? You do stuff like this when you're trying to spy on another country, right? You want to know who the agents are, who's this, who's that, know where they live, stuff like that. But they doing this to regular people, regular citizens who speak out against Israel. They're checking you like as if you were another, like you were, you know, like it's a damn James Bond movie or something, right? Like as if you're a dangerous CIA operative. They're spying on you like that, man. This is how deep this is going, bro. This is how deep it goes. You're gonna see. They're gonna say they find out where the people live. They find out all this information about you, bro. But what is that for? That's so they could destroy you, man. That's so they could destroy you. They find anything they can about you. Who's your you know, whatever. Who's your spouse? Who's this? Who's your family members? Who you've been talking to? Who's your friends? Who's your wife, your husband? Are you messing around on them? Are you cheating? Are you doing this? Or do you take drugs in secret? Do you know, I'm sure they find all that stuff out, whatever they can to destroy you. Whatever they can to destroy. What does he do in his private life? Huh? What's he doing at home? Well, where's he going? Does he hang out here? He goes here. He messes with drugs. He drinks alcohol in private. You know, whatever they can find to destroy you, man. It's almost, you know, it's kind of scary, man. It's kind of scary to think that, wow, they going through all this trouble? All this trouble to stop criticism of Israel? Really? Is it that bad? Again, I understand you don't want the Holocaust to take place. We get that. We get, but I think enough people in this day and time are intelligent enough, you would hope. But then again, I don't know, to not want that to happen again, right? You would think. But to go this far, man, just to stop people criticizing you or your country, to treat regular American activist citizens as if you're spying on an enemy country with this type of, right, overwhelming technology, this is crazy, man. This is really crazy. And I don't know how our government allows this. How does our government allow this to take place, man? How are they allowing them to spy on fellow citizens like this? Isn't this illegal, man? Wow, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But like I'm saying, this is how deep it is. That's why, like I said, when just a few moments ago, when I got my laptop, just only my laptop, nothing else went off. Only my laptop got disconnected. To me, that was real weird. To me, that was like, is that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence that I'm talking about this subject and saying I got a lot to expose, and all of a sudden, my internet, only my laptop got disconnected. I mean, it got completely disconnected, brothers and sisters. It wasn't just, like I said, it wasn't just YouTube having problems. No, I got my laptop, the Wi-Fi got completely disconnected only from my laptop. Only the laptop. Everything else was still working. I went and looked. The modem is still on. The router is still going. We're still going. Fine, no problems. Only my laptop got disconnected. Completely disconnected. So I'm like, coincidence? I don't know. I don't know. But this is how deep this game is being played by these people. So, you know, again, we understand why they're going out. But again, this proves that what she said she was not wrong. Right? She was not wrong. This proves that she was not wrong. Okay? She definitely was not wrong.
In the United States, the lobby is working with Israel to spy on American citizens.
We're giving them data. For example, one day, Sima's deputy sending me a photo, just a photo in WhatsApp. It's written, boycott Israel on a billboard. In a few hours, our systems and analysts could find the exact organization, people, and even their names where they live. We gave it back to the ministry. I have no idea what they did.
To me, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. They found, like he said, within minutes, he said, that's the technology that they're using. All they got to do is put the thing in, and whatever technology they have, it starts searching the whole internet, finding you. He said they could find out your names, where you live. Find out where you live. Right? That's dangerous. Because what else could they do? Send somebody to somebody's house? You gonna send somebody to their house? Right? Wow, why you know what I mean? Like, it's scary, man. Scary stuff. Listen what he said here. He said, look, we gave it back to the ministry, and I have no idea what they did with this. Oh, really? Then, you know, like, what you mean you have no idea what they did with it?
With this, but in fact, 3 days later, there were no billboards.
Now look at that. That's interesting. He said they were able to get that billboard that you saw taken down within 3 days. So that means whoever paid for that, they paid for that billboard. Probably, maybe they paid for it for a month or something or whatever. But it got taken down. So that's how they shut you up. They have the power to go to people and, hey, shut. That's why, again, see? They have the power to shut you up, make you lose your job. That's what I told you yesterday. That's why it's important that we support people who are willing to speak the truth. They need to have the grassroots support, because that's what they'll do. They'll shut you down, man. They will try to destroy you, your career, your business, whatever. And this is what they'll do. So that's why it's important for the grassroots meaning the people themselves, right? Instead of taking money from a business or a corporation or an organization, the people support you. And that way, if the people support you, if they make you lose your job, you're good because the people got your back. Right? Same thing I said yesterday. Right? If they try to destroy your career, your business, you're good because the people got your back. That's why it's important, brothers and sisters, that you got to back your people up. You got to back your people up, man. You got to back them up. if you want them to work for you and keep going forward with the truth, because these people, as you can see, they're working hard to make sure that their agenda gets pushed, and they'll do it seems like they'll do whatever it takes to make sure that whoever opposes them gets knocked out the way. You see? Let's look a little bit more about the technology.
We use all sorts of technology. We use corporate level, enterprise grade social media intelligence software. Almost all of this happens on social media. So we have custom algorithms and formulae that acquire the stuff immediately.
This show right here is probably being picked up, right? This show right here probably getting picked up right now, and all the information is going to them right now, right? So right now, this stream that I'm doing right now, may be picked up by their technology that guy just talked about, right? And it gets sent to whatever database they have, right? Whatever database they have, it gets sent to them. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let's listen to a little bit more.
In terms of like information sharing, we did add the Ministry of Strategic Affairs to our operations and intelligence brief, which kind of goes back to how do we get information about what's going on in American college campuses.
Generally within about 30 seconds or less of one of these things popping up on campus, whether it's a Facebook event, whether it's the right kind of mention on Twitter, the system picks it up, it goes into a queue and alerts our researchers, and they evaluate it, they tag it, and if it rises to a certain level, we issue early warning alerts to our partners.
They operate through subterfuge, and they walk a very thin line between the legal and illegal in what they do in order to gather information and to smear their opponents and ultimately destroy them. In order to understand how the pro-Israel lobby operates, you have to literally be a fly on the wall. If you can't obtain information publicly, you should try to get into the room through other means.
Our undercover reporter, Tony, is British and Jewish and had recently
So let me stop that right there, because I think that's enough. You get to see what I'm saying. But yeah, you see the technology, like the guy said, they're using, you know, high level technology, man, corporate level stuff. You know, that real deep, really, you know, like wow, you know what I'm saying? Like they're using that type of technology to, as he said, within 30 seconds, man. 30 seconds, it could pick up this information and just take it and do what it needs to be done with it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. False sex. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly right. But as you can see, as you heard, this is real deep. And like I said, I need to finish watching the rest of this documentary myself. But I recommend everybody watch this. I recommend everybody watch this documentary, man, because it's really good. It's really exposing them, because like I said, they had these people go undercover. You know what I mean? They had these people go undercover. So real deep. So let me show you some of the other stuff that I was talking about. So that's the other thing that shows you that Sister Ilhan was correct and she was telling the truth. But let me show you some of the other stuff. Like I was talking about, let me see. I talked about how they have the how they're targeting black people, right? How they're now trying to target, you know, they want to try to get some black Americans or black American Christians on their side, right? So we're going to talk about that as well. And how they also, so either they're working on it two ways. They're either targeting black American Christians or black people to try to join them, or they're, you know, trying to destroy. If any black person tries to speak out who's prominent, they'll try to destroy you. So here's an article about that right here. Let me show you that one, and we'll get into that next part. So here we have right here, Operation Israel Cyber Shield exposed. The attack on Black America, Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the Nation of Islam. All right. So this is an article talking about that, how, you know, they have just like basically what we just saw in the video footage, but, you know, going into a little bit more of the information, right? And talking about that, about how Jewish agents, how they had Jewish agents sent in, and it also has a link to that same documentary that we were talking about, interestingly enough. But it talks about how they have infiltrated black organizations for many years and caught. Let's see right here. It says, it's no surprise then when the Anti-Defamation League under Abraham Foxman was caught red-handed surveilling at least 12,000 progressive individuals. 12,000 progressive individuals and 950 organizations. Like somebody said in the text, in the comment section, it's like they're paranoid, man. You know what I mean? Like, I understand everybody, you know, there's a certain level of alertness you got to have, but this is like beyond. This is like super paranoid stuff that the way they're acting. You know what I mean? This is like super extreme paranoia. All this stuff that they're doing here, right? So it said they were caught red-handed surveilling at least 12,000 progressive individuals and 950 organizations, including the NAACP, Greenpeace, the Arab American Anti-Discrimination Committee, and of course the Nation of Islam. The ADL was particularly focused on the pro-Palestinian and anti-apartheid movements and suppliers. Somebody just said that in the comment section as well, right? About how Israel was in support of the apartheid government, right? So here it says they focused on pro-Palestinian and anti-apartheid movements. And yeah, a lot of people don't. Maybe one day we'll do a show about that, about how Israel and apartheid South Africa, you know, they were allies. You would think that Israel would have been against the racists, right? But no, they were allies with the white racist apartheid government. They worked against Nelson Mandela. I've talked about that in some of my older shows when we talked about it. But I mean, we may have to do a whole show on that very subject, about the alliance between Israel and the white racist apartheid people. Right? So it says here that, let's see, they focused again on pro-Palestinian and anti-apartheid movements and supplied their spy files to South Africa's notorious secret police. All of this ADL espionage proved that the American government had simply privatized its race hate policies, handing over its anti-black spy activities to the far more experienced Jewish leadership. Those who know the history of Jewish manipulations of black affairs immediately suspected that the recently intensified claims of black anti-Semitism were false, and could easily see the fingerprints of a Jewish espionage operation. It came like a flooding start about a year ago. A decade-old photo of President Barack Obama with the Minister Louis Farrakhan became a Jewish media obsession. This was followed by vicious attacks on Representative Keith Ellison, another Muslim in the government, Omarosa Manigault Newman, and the Congressional Black Caucus. In quick succession came the Jewish brutalization of Tamika Mallory, Linda Sal. So those are the sisters who are part of the that women's I forgot what that's called, the Women's March or whatever, right? Mark Lamont Hill, I mentioned him yesterday. Alice Walker, Angela Davis, Michelle Alexander, the new U.S. representatives Rashida, how you say her name? Tlaib, and Ilhan Omar, and a string of all black others. Wild and unsupportable charges of anti-Semitism, in quotes, came simultaneously and hysterically from Jewish sources like the ADL, the Southern Poverty Law Center, the Simon Wiesenthal Center, the Tablet, the Forward, and Jewish media figures like Jake Tapper and the well-known media shyster Alan Dershowitz. So, you know, this is like we just seen in that documentary. This is some of the stuff that they do. It says, now we find that all the above-mentioned American citizens were victims of a sophisticated operation directed from the highest reaches of a foreign government, Israel. A bold and unprecedented documentary titled The Lobby, that's what I just showed you footage of, right? That documentary, The Lobby, produced by Al Jazeera, is now unveiling the full extent of this illegal, they saying Jewish, but Israeli espionage operation. Right? Undercover reporters with hidden cameras posing as pro-Israel zealots worked their way into the leadership of this elaborate Israeli operation called Israel Cyber Shield. In 4-hour-long segments, these reporters made some stunning video revelations. So damning were these reports to Israel's leadership that Israeli officials and Alan Dershowitz, acting on Israel's behalf, became Herculean made Herculean efforts to block its release. Of course, they didn't. Thank Allah that they weren't able to stop it, and now it's right here on YouTube for all to see it. The internet won out, and the full criminal Israeli enterprise is now exposed. Its target and focus are Black American youth and Islam. All right. Let's see. Another article we have about that is this article here. This is, I think, maybe a blogger. It's called Tikkun Olam. All right. This guy may be a blogger, but nonetheless, still some good information here. He talks about what I was telling you about how they are, how this article, that other article says they're targeting Black Americans. If you're against Israel, they'll target you, but they're also trying to get some sellout blacks to be on their side. Okay, so this article talks about that. It says, you heard of pink washing, greenwashing, now blackwashing joins the cast of pro-Israel Hasbara, communities exploited in order to combat the major criticisms of Israeli policy toward the Palestinians. Pink washing is the effort to promote Israel to the gay community in order to point out the homophobia of Arab culture and nations. Greenwashing is the attempt by environmental groups like Jewish National Fund to point to Israel's alleged sensitivity to environmental issues, excluding, of course, its heinous target treatment of Negev Bedouins, whose communities are being bulldozed by the Israeli government in collaboration with the JNF. Now blackwashing is the rage. Israel lobby groups like AIPAC have worked closely cultivating relationships on college campuses with African American students. They send these young leaders to AIPAC conferences where they can be trotted out to the media as witnesses for the defense to combat the BDS campaign to label Israel as an apartheid state. Here they have a quote. When Vincent Evans arrived as a bright-eyed first year at Florida A&M, the country's largest historically black university, he knew he wanted to get involved in politics. So when an older student leader approached him one afternoon after a student government meeting to ask if he wanted an all-expense paid trip to see, that's how they buy you off. Hey, you want to take a trip to Israel? Come on, man, we'll pay you. All expenses paid. All expenses paid, man. We'll pay for your trip to go visit Israel. Wouldn't that be nice? All expenses paid. You don't have to worry about food, where to stay. We're going to pay for the whole thing, man. Right? Evans jumped at the opportunity. The trip, it turned out, was sponsored by the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC, the country's most powerful pro-Israel lobbying outfit. Israel is under growing attack from Palestinian and international activists who call the country a racist apartheid state, and rightfully so. In response, its staunchest U.S. lobby is recruiting black students as moral shields to make the case for Israel, for Israeli impunity. At historically black colleges and universities around the country, AIPAC is finding and developing a cadre of black allies to declare there's no way Israel can be racist. And you see how that's going to work, right? You see how that works. Because they say, hey, well, look, we got black people saying it. They know racism. They've been discriminated against. They've been mistreated. See? But they agree that Israel is not racist. Only an idiot coon, Sambo, sellout black person would ever fall for this. But obviously there are people willing to do that, right? There are black people, unfortunately, willing to do it. Most black people, thank Allah, they know that that's a bunch of BS, and they know that the Israelis are racist, right? We've seen the footage, we've seen the articles, how they treat African migrants. We've seen your racism against the black Jews from Ethiopia. So we're not buying it. But there's always some there's always some Sambo coon house nigga types, right, that are always willing to take that money, man. And again, that, like I said on yesterday's show, this is why white supremacy stays on top, because there's too many willing sellout Negroes and Arabs and others that are always willing to sell out their own people, man. That's why they stay on top, because there's always some sellout that's messing up the movement. Right? So so as they were saying, that this is what they're doing. They're finding and developing a cadre of black allies to declare there's no way Israel can be racist. And of course, like I said, some people will buy it because they, oh, well, look, it's a black person. They know racism, right? We know racism. We as black people, we know racism, right? We know discrimination. We know mistreatment and all this stuff like that. So if you can get a black person to say, hey, Israel's not racist, well, It is, you know, why would a black person support? Clearly, you know what I'm saying? So that's the game they're playing here. So it says, in his 4 years in college, Evans traveled to DC at least 10 times on, wow, look at that, on AIPAC's dime. They paid for it 10 times. He and a small group of other student leaders from his school joined hundreds of others from around the country, including other historically black colleges and university students, for AIPAC's semi-annual Saban Leadership Seminar. Within the program, says Evans, they make a concerted effort to reach out to historically black colleges and majority Hispanic. Oh, now they're going for the Hispanics too, and majority Hispanic schools. So they're going to see that they know the game. They know that Hispanics are a rising minority in America as well. So hey, let's get them too. So basically what happens is when white people become the minority in America, they'll make sure, well, we still got the Negroes. We still got the Latinos too. See, we'll buy them out too. So when you white people become less and you can't support us no more, we'll just get the black people and the Latinos. See, they'll be our new group. We'll make sure we buy the sellouts from them to help us out. So they're already thinking ahead. They're already getting ready. I pray to Allah that the Latinos and black people don't fall for it. But again, if we want to make that happen, what did I tell you yesterday and what I've been saying? We need to make sure that our message gets out. You see, the same way that they're willing to put this much effort into stopping our message and people that have a message like this out, we need to put the same effort in making sure that our message can be heard, so we can make sure that we recruit black people on our side, that we recruit Latinos on our side, so they can say, stand with us and say, no, Israel is racist. But again, what does it take, brothers and sisters? It takes money. As you can see here, as you heard, it takes money. They pay for these people's trip. Full expense paid to Israel for 10 days, man. That boy wouldn't have been able to pay for that trip himself. Right? Even if he had a good job, he probably wouldn't have 10 days. Right? A 10-day trip. And then they pay for him to go to DC, to go to the AIPAC thing 10 times. All expenses paid. Right? Just so to get your support. You saw how much, as I showed at the beginning of the show, how much they give to the politicians. Right? Average $20-something thousand. For the House, right? For the Senate, they gave them average $86,000. For a total of millions of dollars. Total of millions of dollars being given. They're putting their money behind their mission. So if we want to make sure that we recruit our own people and get our message out there just as loud, or if not louder than theirs, it takes expenses, right? It takes expenses to do it, right? You got to get out there. You got to put the money behind the messenger. You got to put the money behind the one who's carrying your message out there. You got to support them to get the message out there and spread the word. All right. Now, let me show you this one. Let me check what's the name real quick. Just want to check the chat room, make sure everything is still operating well. Now I'm going to show you one of the people that they have recruited, a rising star, a black person who's a rising star for the support of Israel. All right. I just want to check, make sure we're still going. All right, good. Let me see some of the comments. Yeah, you're right about that false sex. You're right. Yeah, there's evidence about that many of the slave ships were financed, right? Were financed by by some Jewish people, white Jews, right? A lot of white Jews financed those ships. Right? Wait, let me see. What did this person just say? Muhammad, my people, is not based on race. Jack Stevens? What you saying? Oh, is that what Jack Stevens? That's what you're trying to claim, Jack Stevens? No, Jack Stevens. No. No, the Quran doesn't. Right. False sex is right. The Quran doesn't say that that Palestine belongs to the Zionists. No, sir. No, sir. It doesn't say that. Wait, who is Jack Stevens talking about? All right, so but let me see. Back to what I was saying. There's no mic here. You can text. There's no mic here. This is not like Pal Talk or something. This is my stream. All right, you can only speak. It does it? How you do that? How does it let you speak on the mic? I've never seen anybody have a show. That's only if you do like a hangout. That's if you do a hangout. I don't have hangout set up right now. That's if you do a hangout, you can do that, but not with this, right? You can only get on the mic if we're on a hangout. And right now, this is not on a hangout. This is just a regular live stream. All right. But so let me see. Let me get back to what I was saying. So yeah, let me show you one of the black people that they recruited. All right. Let me show you that one. Check this out. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. Right here. So this is one of the black people that they recruited. She's supposed to be a rising star. Her name is Chloe Valdari. Chloe Valdary. I don't know if it's Valdary or Valdari or Valdary, whatever. But here she is. Here's a picture of her right here. She's their rising star, they say. Right? She's their rising star. Ignorant black Christian. Right? Here her name, Chloe Valdary or Valdari. Christian, black, rising star of the pro-Israel campus activism. 21-year-old support for Israel not only cuts against arguments of students for justice in Palestine, but also against much black civil rights rhetoric. But no, not really. She doesn't. I'm sorry, Times of Israel. No, she doesn't. Black people who know better, we're not going to fall for a black face. Just because you got a black face talking pro-Israel, most of us are not falling for that, Times of Israel. I'm sorry. All right? Most of us, we're not falling for that. We'll look at her like she is. We'll look at her as a house Negro. Right? She'll be seen as a house Negro, and most black people are not going to fall for that. You might get some dumb black Christians to fall for that, but most black people, we're not going for that. We're not going to fall for this trick of you putting a black face for your pro-Zionist garbage. It's not going to work. All right? It's not going to work. Most black people are not going to fall for it, and they'll just see her as a coon. She'll be looked at as a coon and a Sambo, a sellout, a house Negro. No, most black people are not going to fall for this. Now, your white people will fall for this, right? Your white Zionists, your white racist Zionists, they'll fall for it. They'll be happy to see the black girl talk pro-Israel. For them, yeah, that's why they like people like Candace Owens and all these other sellouts, right? Because it makes them feel good. Oh, look, yeah, see, we got a black person talking for us, right? But that doesn't impress the black community, right? People like this don't impress the black community. To them, to us, these are sellouts. We're not impressed. So you're not going to get more black people to support you because you put this black girl's face as the face of being pro-Israel. It's not going to work. I'm just sorry that we don't fall for that. Like I said, you'll find a few ignorant dummies or some black Christians who fall for that. But black Muslims, black Afrocentric people, black what we call conscious people, they won't fall for this. She'll just be looked at as a Sambo coon. Right? She's not, that's not going to make people run to support Israel. But this makes white people feel good, though. White racists who support Israel, they like this kind of stuff. She'll make them feel good to see oh, look, a black, you know what I mean? But as if you think this is going to work on the black community, she's not going to do it. But this is their rising star, everybody. This is their rising star. And I never heard of her until just now. Right? I never heard of her until I started doing a little bit of research on this. Right? Matter of fact, this article's old, as a matter of fact. They said this is from what? 2014. So I don't know. Maybe it didn't work because I haven't heard of her at all. And this article, I'm just looking at the date. This is old, man. This article is from 2014. So maybe it hasn't worked because I have not heard anything about this girl. Have you? Have any of you heard about her? I haven't heard anything about this girl before. So maybe it didn't work as I knew it wouldn't. It didn't work. So maybe they said, you're not doing the job we need you to do. You're out of here. Because I haven't heard anything about her until I saw this article. But like I said, that article is 2014. As far as 2019, I haven't heard about her at all, man. So maybe it didn't work. Maybe it didn't work. Maybe maybe them using her didn't work. So, well, that's good. That's good. Here's another thing too I wanted to show you guys too. The next level of what we were talking about is that, you know, as we spoke, that a lot of these people are helping the white racist agenda, right? A lot of people a lot of times like to talk as if, you know, they're not, Jews are not whites. Look, man, they're white people, man. I mean, unless you're talking about the Ethiopian black Jews or something like that. But most of these Jews that we see in the news, they're white people. And here this article talks about a shocking number of Jews have become willing collaborators in white supremacy. Well, of course, many of them, they're white people, right? They're white people. We know there have been ethnic differences between, you know, Christian whites and Jewish whites. But as you can see in this day and time, there is an alliance. And yes, they do help, like Pamela Geller, for example. Pamela Geller, right? You know about her. She has promoted a lot of, you know, anti-Muslim agendas and ideas in line with the white racists, right? So it's no different. There's a common denominator there. The common denominator is what? White racism, right? So no matter if one follows the religion of Judaism and the other follows the religion of Christianity, they have that common denominator that what? They're both white racists, right? They're both white racists. So the sister Ilhan was correct. She was not wrong. There's ample evidence that backs her up. As I said, there's ample evidence that backs her up. I recommend, if you can, get this book. Remember this? I talked about this book earlier. Get this book, The Israel Lobby and U.S. Foreign Policy. You know, they talk about this. They document it. Don't forget to check out that documentary that we showed you, The Lobby. It's very good. It exposes it well with undercover, you know, people going undercover and catching these people with footage, video footage or audio, where you hear them talking, saying what they're saying, proving that what the sister said is correct. Either they're trying to destroy politicians or they're letting you know we're buying you off. All right? So the evidence is out there that the sister Ilhan was right when she made her comments about the influence of the Israeli lobby, because many people have been talking about it. The evidence is there, right? The evidence is there. So we stand with the sister. We stand in support of the sister Ilhan. Unlike the people from your community, or at least those two men from your community, Sister Ilhan, I stand with you. As a black man and as a Muslim man here in America, I support you. I stand with you. You have my support, as well as many others. So you keep doing what you're doing. You keep speaking that truth. You keep bringing the truth to these people, and keep exposing it. All right, and anybody else who are here, we got to support this sister as well. Give your support, whether it's encouragement or whether you support her campaign or whatever, but support this sister to keep speaking the truth. All right. So no doubt about that. So before I sign off one more time, again, I appreciate all those who tuned in to the show. Remember, we would appreciate your support. Let me see. Has anything changed since this show was on? Let me check. Let's check. Checking the Patreon right now. Let's see. Still 3 people. All right. I'm still looking. Like I said, I'm still looking for 2 more people. I'm trying to reach a goal of 5 patrons. I'm trying to reach a goal of 5 patrons. The link to the Patreon is in the description of this video. Your brother needs your support. We want to get this. We want to expand our platform. We want to expand our reach. Help us to do that by being a patron. Somebody in the comments on my other video said he wish I could do a show every day. You want me to do a show every day, inshallah? Give the brother some support. You support me, I'll do a show every day. All right? I'll do a show every day. If I get the right amount of support where I can, you know, put my more time and effort into this, I'll do a show every day. So the brother who made that comment on my other video yesterday, you wish I could do a show every day? Mashallah, I appreciate that. But you really want me to do a show every day? Give me the support that I need, and wallahi, I'll do a show every day. You know what I mean? If possible, inshallah. So I appreciate that that you like what I'm doing, you like the material. You said you want me to do a show every day. Wallahi, I'll do a show every day if you give me the support that I need to be able to do that. All right? But like I said, in the meantime, brothers and sisters, I want 5 people right now. I got 3 right there. Give me 2 more, man. Just 2 more people so I can reach my goal of 5. 5 patrons to support your brother Shadi Lewis, aka Mr. Islam Answers Back. All right? And then, like I said, from there, we'll try to get 10, and we'll keep going from there. Right now, all I want is 5 people. Give me 5, inshallah. 2 more. All I need is 2 more. All I need is 2 more people to support. But again, whatever happens, I appreciate your support, even if it's just support in words, even if it's just a moral support. You support me in your words. It's all good. MashaAllah. I pray all praise is due to Allah for the support you give me. All right. You know, however it comes, it's all good. It's all good. I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate it however it comes, and it's all good. Like I said also too, but if you don't want to become a patron, use the other links. They're also available. You can do something. You can donate through PayPal. You can donate through my website. You can support my book, He Never Was God, How Scripture Shows Jesus was a man and not God. That's available on Amazon as a paperback or an ebook. You can buy our DVD, Takia, The Lie They Made Against Islam. That's also available, right? So I gave you, plenty of options for you to support your brother. But however you do it, I appreciate it. I thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me read a few comments before we end the show, and let's see. Okay, let's see. Jack seems to support Zionist lies. I think Jack's saying Quran does, but he's wrong. What are you giving? What's this? Who is this? Who's this dude typing in Spanish? What's this? Where's Jack from? Jack, what language is that? Is that Spanish or French? Source 17. Wait, hold on a second. Because when you guys do that, what you do is you like to take the verses. Let's go to that verse, and let's see. Because let's see. Chapter 17, 104. Let's see, chapter 17, 104 says, therefore we said to the Israelites, dwell... Oh, yeah, well, right, okay, right. But see, Jack, what about the rest of the verses in the Quran that says when the Israelites disobeyed Allah? What about that part? You forget that, yeah, that's what Allah said at first. You're forgetting the other parts of the Quran when Allah, after they got it, they disobeyed Allah. So then Allah said, then forget it. Now you don't get nothing now. Because a lot of them refused to obey and they refused to enter the land. So you're forgetting that part, Jack. Don't only quote one part of the Quran. That part talks about when Allah first told them to get the land, right? So nobody's disputing that. Allah did tell them that they had that the land was there at first. But what happened after that, Jack? What did the Israelites do after that caused them to lose the land? That's the part you're leaving out. Right? That's the part that you leave out. Right? You're leaving that part out. You're leaving the part that after that they disobeyed Allah, so then they lost their privilege to the land. You're forgetting that part, Jack. Don't misquote the Quran or quote the Quran out of context. You're not giving the whole story, Jack. You're not giving the whole story, Jack. That's only one verse. That's the verse that talks about when Allah first gave it to them. But then after that, he said, no, you lost it. Because you disobeyed. So come on, Jack. Don't try to misuse the Quran to support a lie. You see how they do? You see how they do, brothers and sisters? He's not giving all the verses where Allah tells them afterwards that now they don't get the land because of their disobedience. Right? So here, let me show you. Look, I'm gonna show you the verses, Jack. Let's see, Jack. I want you to go to chapter 2, verse 83. Right? Chapter 2, verse 83. Shows where they also disobeyed. They disobeyed, and then they don't have it no more. Chapter 2, verse 83. of the Quran, right? Let's see, chapter 2, verse 83. Yeah, it says, remember when we made a covenant with the children of Israel, saying, worship none but Allah, and be good to your parents and to relatives and orphans and the needy, and speak kindly to people, attend your prayers and pay the charity, the zakat. But with the exception of a few, you turned away. See? So Allah says He told you, but you turned away. So come on, Jack, don't try to use part of the Quran, right? Don't try to use part of the Quran to misrepresent what the Quran is saying and act like the Quran says, oh, you guys still have Israel. No, you don't. No, you don't. This verse proves it. Yeah, He gave it to you at first, but you disobeyed. So chapter 2 of the Quran, verse 83, right there, Jack. Right there, Jack, says what? You turned away. Only a few of you. Only a few of you. Most of you turned away, Allah says. Chapter 2, verse 83. So no, you're not going to misuse the Quran to try to support your Zionist state. You're not going to use the Quran to misrepresent and support your racist Zionist state of Israel. No. No. So the Quran is against you. The Quran is against you. The Quran says, but a few. It says, a few you turned away. It said, with the exception of a few, you turned away. And you paid no heed. Right? So no, you don't get it. There's also chapter 2, verse 246. Chapter 2, verse 246. Chapter 2, verse 246 also says it here. Let's see. Chapter 2, verse 246 says, let's see, where's 246? Okay, there you go. Chapter 2, verse 246. It says, have you heard of what the chiefs of the children of Israel demanded of one of their prophets after Moses? They said, appoint for us a king, and we will fight for the cause of God. He replied, what if you refuse to fight? Then, when ordered to do so, why would we not fight for the cause of Allah? They replied, when we have been driven forth from our homes and our children. But when at the last they were commanded to fight, they all refused. So there you go. Once again, you disobeyed. They refused, except a few of them. So once again, Allah says you were given, you were given it at first, but you refused. You disobeyed. Right? Another one, chapter 33, verse 26. Let's go to chapter 33, verse 26. To show you that no, the Quran does not support your claim to Israel. I'm sorry. You can't see what they want to do. They want to use that one verse where Allah says that He gave it to them. He promised it to you. He gave it to you at first. Yeah. But what happened after that, though? You disobeyed after that. So then you don't have it no more. So the Quran shows, what the Quran is doing is telling you the whole story so you get the whole context. It says, yes, at first Allah, had chosen the children of Israel. Yes, He made a covenant with you. Yes, He told you could dwell in the land. But what did you do after that? Then He says, but after that, you disobeyed. You wouldn't listen. So you don't own it no more. You don't get it no more. You can't still claim hold to it when you disobeyed. You see? Allah didn't say it's unconditional. He didn't say you have it no matter what you do. Right? He didn't say you could keep it no matter what you do. It was promised contingent upon your obedience to God or to Allah. But the Quran says you didn't remain obedient. So don't use that one verse and take it out of its context. All right? So here, let's go to chapter 33, verse 26. 33, 26. 26 and 27. What does it say? It says, let's see. It says, He brought down from their strongholds the people of the book who supported the aggressors and filled their hearts with terror. Right? Some of them you killed and others you took captive. He made you heirs to their land and their houses and their possessions and lands on which you in which lands you have not set foot. So this right here says that's the clearest verse to let you know that no, Allah took it from you and He gave it to the other people that defeated you. See? That's chapter 33 verses 26 and 27. That's one of the strongest verses where Allah says no, He gave it to the other people instead of you. Okay, Jack? So I'm sorry, you're misrepresenting the Quran. You misrepresented the Quran. Okay? You misrepresented the Quran. Okay? You misrepresent the Quran. So right there, so chapter 33, verse 26 and 27. All right. So there it is right there. Okay. You don't have the right, according to the Quran, to that land the way you're claiming you do, like as if it's a God-given right. All right. In terms of God-given rights, in terms of the God-given right to that land, no, you don't. So you can't use the Quran to support that. All right. You can't use the Quran to support that position. What do you mean now there a context? There's always been a context. What are you talking about? There's always a context. No, we don't. No, by being anti-Zionist, we support. We're obeying what the Quran says. Number one, why? First of all, the Palestinians, many of them are Muslims, right? Many of them are Muslims. So according to the Quran, we're supposed to help and support other Muslims, number one. So how would we be going against the Quran by supporting the people who are hurting other Muslims? Does that make any sense to you? Does that make any sense to you? That we would be on disobeying the Quran by supporting those who are hurting other Muslims? No. The Quran says we are supposed to help other Muslims. So if we were to help the Zionists, we would be disobeying the Quran, Jack. Not the other way around. Not the other way around, Jack. Okay? Why would we support you against the Palestinians who are our Muslim brothers and sisters? Right? Why would we support you against our very own Muslim brothers and sisters? Does that make sense? No, right? If we did that, that would be against the Quran. Okay? So, with that, we'll go ahead and end this show, inshallah. All right? We'll go ahead and end this show. And let me clarify myself on things as well. That again, this stream was about Sister Ilhan and her justified statements against the Israel lobby and against the human rights violation of Israel. I want everybody to be clear, of Israel. We're not talking about Jews, we're talking about Israel. All right? We're not talking about Jews, we're talking about Israel. The country called Israel and their mistreatment of African migrants, their mistreatment of black Ethiopian Jews, their mistreatment of Palestinians. Israel is what we're talking about, not all Jews. Okay? We're making a clear distinction. We're talking about what the Israeli government does. It's racism, it's racist policies, it's racist laws against African migrants, against their mistreatment of black Ethiopian Jews, their racism against the Palestinians. Because that's what it is. It's racism. The way they treat Palestinians, that's also racist. Okay? All right, Jack, chill out, Jack. You're going a little bit tossed, right? There's a famous mosque. I think it's in France, right? There's a famous mosque in France that helped Jews escape from the Holocaust and stuff like that. So we've helped you too, Jack. We've helped Jews run from persecution, right? We've helped you, which is why we're upset that you are mistreating the Palestinians, because Muslims helped you escape the tortures and the terrors of the white racist Zionists in Germany. I mean Zionists, Nazis, right? We helped you. During the time of the past, you had Maimonides. He lived under the Muslim Empire, right? One of your great Jewish scholars, Maimonides, he lived in the Muslim Empire. He was treated very well. He even had a high position in the Muslim government at that time. So we've treated you well too, which is why we don't understand why you're mistreating the Palestinians. It seems like you forgot the favor that we had done for you, right? It seems like you forgot the favor that we had done for you, and now you mistreat the Palestinians after we helped you escape. We helped you escape the Christian Crusaders, right? We helped you against the Christian Crusaders. We let you escape to Muslim lands to escape the Christian Crusaders. We helped you escape from the white racist Nazis. And this is how you do our brothers and sisters in Palestine. You take their land. You bulldoze their house. You're treating them the same way the Nazis treated you. You're treating the Palestinians the same way the Nazis did to you. Checkpoints. No regard for their lives. No regard for their homes. You treat the Palestinians the same way the Nazis treated you, man. And you would think you would know better. You would think that you would know better than to do that. But no, instead, you fell right into it and you treat the Palestinians and black African migrants and black Ethiopian Jews, you treat them as racist as the Nazis were. Right? You treat them as racist as the Nazis were. And that's sad. But I'm going to go ahead and end it on that. Remember, inshallah, to utilize those links in the description of this video. We could definitely use your support. Also, give your support to the sister Ilhan so she can continue to do her work in the United States Congress as a Muslim sister. And we gotta stick with people. What? Your mouth will talk. Man, what you got, bro? What? You know what? Okay, you're going a little too far, and I'm gonna have to put you in timeout. Gonna have to put you in timeout, Jack. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the show on that. Wow, mashallah, we did another 2-hour show. All right, we did another 2-hour show. Alhamdulillah, very good, very good. All right, well, again, I hope you guys utilize the information that I gave you. Remember, don't forget, check out that documentary. Check out that documentary that I showed on today's show. Check out that book, The Israel Lobby, and just be informed, right? Be informed. Don't fall for the tricks. At the same time, be careful, because as we saw in this with that documentary, they're watching people. They're gathering information about you and whatever group you're in, where you live. I mean, this is scary, dangerous stuff. But we're gonna keep marching forward, right? We're gonna keep marching forward. We're gonna keep marching forward. All right. So, all right, brothers and sisters, I appreciate you checking in. Again, inshallah, we'll try to do some shows. You know, we'll keep this going. Maybe next weekend or something. But again, the person who made that comment, one more time, you want me to do shows every day? Please, by all means, give me the support, and I'll do the show every day, inshallah. All right, good show. Talk to you guys later. Assalamu alaikum.